name is Cheryl Erickson, and I'm the Indigenous focused ECE instructor with Louis Riel Vocational College. Today in Developing ECE Curriculum, we will look at curiosity and play. But before we get started on Chapter 9, I just want to remind you that you need to read Chapter 9. This video is not a replacement for your chapter readings. So Chapter 9 looks at curiosity and what curiosity is. And for young children, curiosity can mean many different things. It could occur as an individual child or in a play situation with a group of children. It stems from ideas or actions that happen when a child is involved in play. And curiosity requires an individual or group to identify an interest, explore options, engage with people or places or things. So curiosity, again, meaning many things. Ultimately, when children are curious about something, they do manipulate, they do explore, they ask questions, and they learn. And we want to foster an environment that allows children many opportunities for curiosity so that they are learning. We have talked about loose parts in previous chapters, and there is a theory about loose parts, and that theory suggests that children be given open-ended materials. And loose parts are open-ended materials, meaning that they can do basically anything with them. They aren't specific to a certain outcome. And so with these open-ended materials, there's no rules or specific guidelines or directions on how they're to be used. They can move them around, they can carry them, they can take them apart, they can line them up, they can count them. There's many different ways children utilize use parts, but the outcome for these types of play materials is that children are being creative, they're thinking, and it does spark some curiosity. So with that, having said that, it also really sparks a lot of imagination, because these loose parts can be anything that the children want them to be. So our environment should have lots of materials that are rich, lots of open-ended, manipulative type of materials for children to utilize. Because with these types of materials, children will have many different types of questions that they might ask us as ECEs, their friends, or just go through some problem-solving things on their own. So we want materials that can be used in many ways, that they don't have to have one particular type of use for them. Children can use these materials in different areas of play, so you can use them in math and science for counting, but also those materials those loose parts materials can also be used in dramatic play as food. So they can be used for many different things. These materials allow children to explore. These materials allow children to take them as not only indoors or bring them outdoors or vice versa. So they have many, many different ways that they can use loose parts materials. Open-ended materials are flexible as well. So flexibility with these materials, it's amazing what the outcomes could be. So children are building with them, manipulating, problem solving, counting them. What happens if I, building towers or things, what happens if I add another block onto it? Will they fall over? At what point does it fall over? So it really sparks some thought and some imagination. And if that tower does fall over, they're learning something about how many blocks can be stacked before it falls over, or exploring with different ways of stacking blocks so they can get that structure to be at the highest level before it falls to the ground. So lots of interesting experimentation takes place with these materials. Investigating moving open-ended materials have unlimited possibilities when they're being used by young children. And so some of these materials that I've been talking about in terms of loose parts, there's a list here in your slide, table 9.2, that lists a few of them, and it's straws, clothespins, fasteners, paper clips can be used, rulers, wood pieces or wood cookies are a very popular manipulative in childcare centers. Corks, I've seen bottle caps, pegs and pegboards, wires, stones, rocks, marbles, flashlights, squirt bottles, jars, batteries, styrofoam. So all sorts of different magnets, mirrors are very popular, pulleys, tin cans, lids, tubing, popsicle sticks, all spark a lot of creativity and thought when children are using them during free play. So that does conclude Chapter 9 in Developing ECE Curriculum. Please see your instructor if you have any questions. Also, just check in to ensure you haven't missed any handouts or assignments pertaining to Chapter 9.